Welcome, everybody, to this very special Ubuntu Global Networking session. So, Swys, I'm just going to say over to you, the head coach of the Springbok women. How is it going?
Hi, Tanya. Hi, everyone. For me, firstly, it's a big honor to talk to you guys and share and to promote our women in South Africa. It's a fantastic opportunity, the World Cup for them. They're all going well. The spirit is high. We needed that first ever win against Brazil, and now it's just to focus and, like you guys, be process driven and not to get ahead of ourselves. But very excited. Thanks, Tanya.
Okay, and so I mean, and anybody that saw that game, that was quite a game, and it's so different. I love that South Africa is not even mentioned. I've listened to a lot of Rugby World Cup footage. We're ranked quite far down. As you've just said, we've had our first World Cup win here this time against Brazil, and what a beautiful game to have watched, and how very different as well. If you've not watched a lot of women's rugby, I just think women play the game very differently and play to their own strengths. But I don't. How do you feel about the rankings here? Because I don't think it means very much in women's rugby.
Yeah, it does, but it does. It definitely plays a factor, Tanya, because it's over a long time period that they do it, and the Six Nations girls, the top ones, they play one another a lot. We can't get those opponents. That's maybe why it's a bit distorted the ranking, but it still gives you a good idea. So even in New Zealand and Australia, they've got their tournaments. We really at this stage are trying to find inroads to get part of the top 8 or top 10. I think that's maybe a reason why we are ranked 12. And Brazil was 16 in the tournament. There's 16 teams. France number 4, they tough, they hard, they good, and Italy number 7. So for us to beat Italy or France will be a massive achievement. And and on your question about men and your what you said about our rugby and their rugby, it's between the same lines, the same white lines. It's the same laws. Everything is the same, but the approach and the emotions and everything that goes with it, it's quite different. I'll give you an example. On the if you're on the bus with men's rugby, when I was at the Springbok men's side, it was absolute silence, focus. You see the grid, you see everything. But with the girls, the more laughter there is and fun and singing and dancing and then they happy, and if they happy, they play well, and men is happy, the smiles will come after the game, after the win. So that's for me the big difference as well, Tanya.
So it's a different kind of a way to process that kind of pre-match emotion, in the changing rooms as well. Is it quite? I would imagine would be quite a great place to be quite vocal as well.
Yeah, for sure. And we've got certain folk songs that they sing, that one will start slowly and then they all join in, and it's very inspiring, I must say. And then you get psyched up that way. And initially I couldn't get used to it, but now if they're not singing and it's not there, I say, come on,
Oh.
let's go. Do your thing.
Do your thing.
Yeah,
I know we usually have a song at the end that we play out, and I'm just going to say it's going to be a very different kind of song to what we usually play out in, but you're going to feel all fired up, and it shows you how long I've been kind of not part of that vibe, but you will feel I can see that it's inspiring, and yeah. So the one thing that I uh, that we've seen from the certainly from Rassie and from the Springbok men is, and obviously if you've watched any of the Chasing the Sun kind of documentary things, it's about that kind of having that one goal for the team in mind. And if anybody has looked at the picture of the Springbok women, we are a very diverse group of women there. And how do you then foster that belief that what is the thing that you are all playing for?
Yeah, I think the big thing is what they want to do. You've got the rugby goals, what we want to achieve there. They're all professional rugby players if you play for South Africa. But more for them, it's what was how they can inspire people and young girls in South Africa. And because a lot of these girls come from those, not so easy backgrounds. If you see how for a lot of them, it's the first time since they joined the Springbok women in a grand hotel or in flying premium economy on the airplanes, and I see their faces in awe when they walk around. Overseas was a dream for them, and now suddenly it's a reality, and they walk around and move around, and like thankful, and they want to be role models. They really want to leave a legacy. We went before we came here. We went to the girls' festival of rugby under 18s, and when the bus stopped there, I've never seen. You don't find it in the rugby that the amount of young girls running to everyone, and they're from all cultures and backgrounds. There's Afrikaans, English, Xhosa, Zulu, and with one goal though, and that's that I think it makes us special. We same with what the men's team and Rassi did. His success was to get all the various groups make it one, and that became our strength. So our diversity, if you channel it well, can become your strength.
Fantastic. Well, that is music to my ears, and I think that's music to all South Africans' ears, really, and it should be. Um, and how did you get the gig?
I still I still can't believe it. I was supposed to retire, and I worked at SuperSport as an analyst, which is very nice because you always win and you always can criticize, and it was fantastic. But when I got the call from SA Rugby, they said they want a big emphasis to improve women's rugby, and they want my experience and my background. And I first said no, no way, no, I can't do it. And then we prayed about it. We made a serious effort, and I got clarity. That's why I must be now. That's this time of my life. That's part of my destiny. And I tell you one thing, Tanya, I'm so glad I did it, and I want to share it with you guys as well. Often, when you think a certain thing or route is not for you, maybe it is your route, and I love every second, and it's so nice to make a difference and share my knowledge and see how they improve. And this year that I've been with them is just amazing. How this we couldn't, for example, keep the ball for 5 phases. I couldn't find any clip in the past. We take it over 20 phases now. We can hold the ball if we want to. And yeah, and what I've learned as well with them, they love the physical stuff. If the harder, the tougher. I thought you got to be more gentle and more this. No, 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 no. That's why they want. That's a contact sport, and they love it. So I got to hold him back. Otherwise, we'll write one another off too often. So, sorry, I went a bit off the question.
No, I love that. I love that. And I think I've certainly noticed that. And I think actually, a few things that you've said there, premium economy, grand hotels, it seems like SA Rugby has kind of really come, and the kit, they've really kind of come to the party with regards to support, giving our Springbok women the respect that they deserve as well. And the other thing is that I've heard it in a few interviews that because I've been stuck on Instagram. I've been honestly, I've just been. If it was called propaganda, I'm a Bok women aficionado. I'm here for it, right? In fact, I think I could play for you now as well, Swys.
Of course, I'd give you a go.
No, I'm still. I'll see you in York if you need an extra player or a water girl. That's me. I can bring the water on. But it is that kind of, and I've seen that across the whole Rugby World Cup for the women. It's the conversation about being unlimited as a woman because we are often limited and put in a box and told what we can and what we can't do and what's for us and what's not for us. Um, Different shapes and sizes and how valuable it is to have different shapes and sizes and abilities. And so that's really lovely to hear that, when you have that and when you believe that, you what you can achieve is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're 100% right. If I look at some of the one of our props had an interview, Bibi, and she said rugby made her realize she's there. There's a place for her in life.
Yeah.
You know, she said she's a prop forward, and the society didn't accept it, but rugby accepts it. That she can be a bigger girl and a prop, and as you're so right, and especially a lot of the conservative guys still in South, especially in South Africa, say it's not a place for women, which is absolutely rubbish, you know, and that's why it's not only the mindsets of women that we change. It's the now suddenly we've got so much male supporters saying it is fantastic. They play so well. Their skill level has improved so much. So yeah, I think for women and men, all you know, especially in South Africa, uh, it's a fantastic thing that's happening with SA Rugby backing us so much, and the sponsors FNB and you must see the farewell functions and the stuff we have and the backing. We second now in the rating after the Springboks on the rating of priority, where the under 20s was in the past or the sevens. Now suddenly the women's 15s are second, you know, on the priority. So, and they've got so many plans to get us involved with this top tier nations and stuff, and to grow rugby. So for me, it's the right time at the right place for a fantastic venture.
Yeah, well, we are all very excited and we are delighted to be part of the team. Um, and I heard that they were singing Zombie, but they weren't singing Russie, they were singing Swayze. Did you hear? Did you see that clip?
Uh, no, no, no.
That'll be me. I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to see you on Sunday. I'll be there. I'm taking my family and I'm taking my daughter's boyfriend. He's never been to a rugby match. He's born here, born Brit. Obviously, he's more on the football side. I'm taking him to his first rugby match, and I'm so proud it's a women's rugby match.
Oh,
So,
wonderful. No, I hope you're going to love it and love the day.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I think I've asked enough questions. I'm sure there are a few more people in the room that would like to ask some questions. Stuart, I can't actually see anybody because we're on the speaker view, but if anybody just wants to speak up, ask a question to Swys, then
I'll go, Tanya. You gave me a little bit of a sneak, so I've been thinking. Sway, it's nice to meet you, and the amazing stuff you're doing. It's just in the last 12 months how the women's game has transformed in the Springboks and popped up. What is happening at a grassroots level? Like you see a lot of, happening back in SA through schools and the varsity cups is something. And I'm based here in the UK, but what is happening back home from a grassroots level, and is there that support that's coming through? Because that's what I think is our game is just we've got so much talent, and is that still is SA Rugby putting the money into grassroots?
Yeah, for sure. We've got now suddenly full-time guys who's you know make sure that like you said, we play varsity cup now, which is a big. The varsities are big in rugby and suddenly there's for women there now, and so many schools suddenly. I'll get the call. Our SA Rugby will get the call. We want to start. How do we do? How do we go about to get it going? And they putting a concerted effort in, and there's at all ages now. So more and more schools where we had mainly in certain areas where the girls come from, especially in the Eastern Cape, traditionally Xhosa area. A lot of our girls are from there, but now it's all popping up all over the show, you know, and from all different communities, and yeah, so they are doing a lot, and you know, trying to give the youngsters bursaries and all those things are suddenly taking place. So from because of the future is in the grassroots. It's not the tree's got to have some roots,
Yeah.
and to build the women's rugby tree, the roots has got to be strong, and it wasn't in the past. You know, they started late 20, they netball players, or they realized they've got something special. Someone introduced them to a club, and by accident they got involved in all of their stories. I like their stories. How did you start? What did you go? Now suddenly it's you know, that they come through the system, so the pipeline is suddenly available.
Yeah, so there's a proactive approach. So I mean, if we look at the men's side, I mean, then we're gonna rank up, we're gonna shoot up the rankings, I'm sure, with that sort of grassroots capital going into our rugby, which is great. So no, thanks for your time today, and look forward to watching the ladies on Sunday.
Hi, Tanya. What I'm finding really interesting, and it's a global thing, is that men who are sport mad are starting to watch female sports, but particularly rugby, which I find really, really interesting. Obviously, UK very much the ladies' football as well. But what I find very rewarding to see is they get just as passionate about the game of rugby, whether it's men playing or women playing. And I think that is just goes to show that we're getting rid of some of our past gender perceptions. This is not racial at all. It's completely gender perceptions globally. And women's sport, tennis was probably one of our leaders in bringing that sport to the public. And your ladies, how do they handle? Because they've come from, as you say, as many of our male players have come from very different, and some very disadvantaged backgrounds, some from very privileged backgrounds. How are the team and the individuals coping with this global world, global visibility, people recognizing them, all the things that actually make life difficult being in the media face all the time?
It's amazing. I thought that they would find it tougher, with all the pressures and the stuff. But with the support from the various groups, and they've got a few things just to back one another. When you feel the pressure, much more like men, with men you sort yourself out. There, if there's someone's crying or down, it's the whole time you feel the motherly instinct take over and protective. They protect one another so well. So the care and how they handle the pressure is amazing, because it's suddenly new for a lot of them. Some of them didn't have TVs. Now suddenly they get interviews on TV, the disadvantaged ones. That's for make it for me so special. That is just and that perception, as you called it so rightly, that's changed a lot as well. You look at golf. I love my golf as well. Now I almost enjoy women's golf more. Their swings are smoother. You can copy it. It's more for the connoisseur now. I don't know. It's not that I don't enjoy men's golf, but all sports, women's sports. You mentioned tennis. If rugby is going to take off in South Africa, it's going to be huge, because we in South Africa, we are the world champions over the men, but we in South Africa, we love our rugby more than anything else. It's a rugby crazy. It was always New Zealand, and they still like that. But I think from a passionate point of view, now men and women, it's going to go crazy in South Africa. And that's such a great thing.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck this weekend and going forward. And to Jason's point, bringing up all these teams and this whole population that have now got a purpose that they wouldn't have had before. So thank you, Swys.
Thanks so much for your great support as well.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody. And my very last question is, what can we do now? I've said we're going to be your +1. What are the things we can do? I'm anybody on social media, Instagram, you'll be following the Women Box, I'm sure. Buy tickets. What else can we do, Swys, to let those girls know we're behind them?
I think it's almost synergy. 1 + 1 becomes 4. It's about talking about it on social media. Spread the word out there. Did you see the South African women? They doing this, they doing that. And it's amazing how the snowball effect clicks in. And what's happened now in South Africa, I can't believe the farewell we had at Oliver Tambo Airport. The guys that was involved in the past said never happened before. So everyone we call it the barbecues, where you have your barbecue, you talk about the women. Wherever you got a chance, talk about Springbok women, and hit it hard on social media, because that's how we spread the women's gospel, if I can put it that way.
Absolutely. And spread that within your own families. Let's change those perceptions. Let's put those old outdated perceptions in the past. And Swys, I do want to say to you, even though we are speaking English here, and we still call a braai a braai.
Okay, braai is a braai, yeah. And if I always make some tense or concord mistakes, my wife is an English teacher. My mother tongue is still Afrikaans, so
yeah, well, and some things you can only say in Afrikaans. So Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. You are very welcome to go off and go enjoy your day. I think you've got supposed to have a day of a bit of R&R, and you're still working here for the team. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And please pass on how incredibly proud we are of each and every single one person in the team support. We love you. We're going to support you. And you've made as Donna said, all our hearts just full, and all warm and fuzzy feelings. So thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for your support and what you're doing, promoting trade and everything. And yeah, it's fantastic. Have a great day. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.